co-director of Startup Grind, along with Peter Huzulov, and lots of new faces today. And Manal, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Just in brief, Startup Grind was started by a gentleman named Derek Anderson in Silicon Valley, and it's currently now has branches around the world in 150 cities and 65 countries. We started our branch in Palestine last April. And our purpose here is basically to educate, inspire, and connect entrepreneurs. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, so there's also that kind of misconception, but if you are, you'll definitely get value. And the people that we bring are usually people that we want to learn from. And their lessons learned and their experience and usually figures in the community. So tonight we have Mrs. Manal Zraiq, thank you. And basically the platform is I'm going to have a fireside chat with her for 45 minutes, and then it will be followed by Q&A from you guys. So you will have an opportunity to ask Mrs. Zraiq some questions. Okay. For us, Manal, welcome. For us to get a better idea of who you are, can you give us a sense about where you grew up and your educational background, please?
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet such a wonderful group. I'm really happy to be with you today. My name is Manal Zraiq. My family name is Yaish. I raised in Nablus. I studied at the public school. Then I went to Birzeit University. When I entered Birzeit, the first intifada started. So after the first semester, during the first semester, the university closed. So I went to Amman to a college, and I studied. I took a certificate of executive secretary. I was typing 180 words per minute, writing, all those skills that it's only for secretaries. And after that, after the graduation, it's only a 1 year. I went back to Birzeit when we start just taking some classes at home, at the YMCA, different places. So of course, then I graduated. It took me like 5 years from business school, and my major is accounting. Then directly after that, I started working.
Okay, great. Could you share with us some things about your upbringing and what values you were taught that has stuck with you till today? Values that you learned at home or from your work at a young age?
Actually, I do have so many things just to share with you. And from my experience, I really shared it with my staff, friends, young entrepreneurs, even chatting in any, in any gathering. And they do tell me that really it inspired me. So I want to tell you something that it's not the values that there's some values that you already earned by when you were a child from your parents. There's some values that you get from your religion, but there's so many things that it really helped you during your career. First, you have to be diplomatic. And this is my success. For me, I have a diplomatic personality that I can talk to anybody and take whatever I want without making him or her angry. I know how to deal with the problems, and this is my strength, even with the group that I'm with, even within my partners. I know how to deal with problems. Although I faced lots of challenges during my career life, but there's so many things that really help. The most important things is being diplomatic, never take things in person, and you have to share and respect others, whoever they are, employees, clients, partners. Respect is really very important, and be confident.
Okay. You joined Massar International 20 years ago. You're a partner and a general director there. From your bio, I see that you wear many hats, and I just wanted to see if you could briefly tell us what you typically tell people when they ask you what you do.
Actually, I become silent for, it depends on the audience. It depends on the audience what I should, because now I'm coming from Rawabi. I'm a municipal council member, so we have a delegation from Holland, so I was with them there just wearing the hats of the municipal council member. So it depends on the audience what I'm doing. And things start from, it's one by one. It never comes to my mind. I don't have in my vision that I want to be like, today's the entrepreneurs now, they know what they want, or they have a target that they want to tackle. But for me, it was never in my life. I was in the States 2 years ago, and there was like 150 girls between their ages between 16 and 18, and they asked me, what was your vision when you were in our age? I said, really, my vision was just to get married and have a children. This is the only thing I have in my mind. Never ever comes, at all. But at the same time, I have energy since I'm kid. I always have energy to cover 24 hours or even more. I'm always playing in the neighborhood. Always wants to help our neighbors, especially those old ladies. I used to take, I don't know if you remember, we used to buy the Coca-Cola, and then we have to return it back and take like 1/10 of shakers. There's some money for that. So I used to bring a big box, plastic box, and take it from all our neighbors and return it back, and they take the money for me. They don't want it. So also I raised in a family business. So this helped me a lot. At least, and it never ever comes to my mind that there is something called office hours. Never. My father, my uncles, my cousins, they always go in the morning and come late at night. Although sometimes they come midday and take lunch, but never ever comes that there is an office hours. And this helped me a lot. I was always like, why you want to go? There's nothing to do at home. Why, it's like they look at the watch and they want to leave. This helped me really a lot in my career, that you keep working until you're tired or you're done, or it's not that 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock you have to leave.
As a woman in this tough, somewhat male-dominated society, could you tell us the challenges you faced in climbing up the Massar ladder? We would like to hear about some of your struggles and how you overcame them.
The challenges is it changed by time. Early on in my career, my first challenge was just to be accepted from the males around me that I am their boss. This is really, this was my first challenge, okay? But being diplomatic, I'm always sharing with them everything. I'm listening to their opinion, although I want to do whatever I want. But show them respect, and as if whatever, even during the discussion, I can move them to say whatever I want. Then at the end, it was like, it's our decision. And it helped me a lot. It's just early on, and then they accept it. And another ever in my company, they feel that there is, we all in the same company working as one family. We never used started, but we have started. Well, in my business card, you see my business card, the CEO business card, the reception business card, it doesn't have any title. If you want to respect me, you respect because I am from Massar or from, you know, you cannot just respect the manager and not respecting the admin assistant or, you know. So this really helped me in dealing with the being a male, with the males, with the female boss. Then after that, really they accepted me. The other challenge that it's really faced by all the females is how to manage your time by being a mother and while you're you know, working and building your career. This is really really very hard, and I know that women all over the world they have the same issue. But by managing your time, it helped me a lot. Well, in my personality, I can do so many things at the same time. I know, I think it's a talent or it's a gene, but I can talk while listening to the TV, and you know, I'm using my mobile. Always I use headphones, because never ever talking, just talking on the phone. I talk, I send SMS at the same time, or checking my emails, it's all at the same time. So this is why I can
Okay. Massar Group is leading some multi-million-dollar projects financed by international donors. I'm curious to know which investment projects are you heavily involved in, besides Rawabi, since that's our next topic, and what are the key factors do you and the committee look at before making an investment?
Well, maybe it's confused. It's not like this. Let me just tell you what Massar do and how we grow and how we started. And I want also to tell you a story how I become like this. I'm not a partner since day one. I started as an employee. And this is what I want to share with you. And there is a few things, I guess, that maybe you will really like it, and you know, rethink of something that it comes to you in your situation. The maternity leave was 20 days. Then they changed the law. It's 20 days, it was not enough. Of course, it's my first baby. I don't have any support system in Ramallah at all. All my family, my husband's family in Nablus, and so I resigned. The minute I resigned, you know, it's only 2 weeks. I cannot stand just staying at home. I can raise my baby, but still I have time to do so many things. So I've met Bashar Masri, whom I know since we were kids. We were raised in the same neighborhood, and our families are friends, good friends. And he came back from the States, and we've met, and he told me, you know, I'm here to establish a consulting company. Would you like just to help me if you don't have anything? Let's do it together. I said, okay, great. So I joined Massar. We find a place, and we start, you know, just looking for furniture from day one. I started with Massar as an office manager. We were 3 people. Bashar, who's the owner by that time, he's the only owner. Me as an office manager, and we have a guy called Steve Karam. He's now working in Washington, at the World Bank in Washington. We established Massar as a consulting company. We do like market survey, visibility study, you know, and it's in 1995 when the visa process started. So the economy was booming by that time. So we were 3 in the office. It's a small office, and well, by that time we don't have enough money just to hire more people. I was the office manager, but doing the accounting, doing the admin issue, and clean the dishes. And at the same time, I'm also the receptionist. Bashar, he was a general manager working on business development, and he has to hoover for the, he's the one who cleaned the office. At the end of the day, we have hoover, he's clean. Steve, he's the one who takes the trash at the end of the day, because most of the day he's not, he's in the office, we have visitors, you know. So after that, the work become bigger, and we start just hiring more employees. By that time, we have the affiliation. Until today, we have affiliation with Commanders International. So this is the projects, that the multi-million projects. It's donor projects, but we're subcontracting just in the management. Then we start just establishing Al Ayyam newspaper. Bashar is one of the founders, and he was a general manager of Al Ayyam. So he went for 2 years. All this time was at Al Ayyam, and me and the other employees were at the office of Massar. But at that time, I was helping Al Ayyam by recruiting, by importing the ink, the paper, and we hosted Al Ayyam employees at Massar until the building is done. By that time, we were 2 main people at Massar. Me, that I'm dealing with all the management, the administration, and the accounting, and one other colleague that he's doing all the technical issues. Massar cannot be run without one of us at that time. So, because it was booming, so we start receiving phone calls from other companies. They attract us, they want to hire us with double salary. Sometimes it's a double salary with a car, especially those projects. Some of them, it's like really an amount of money with the mobile. The mobile was not, at that time was the prison, the big one, and it was an issue, you know, just holding the prison. So anyway, my colleagues come and told me, Manal, we have to talk to Bashar. He has to give us a double salary if he wants to keep us. Well, I told him, you know what, I'm really happy at work. Well, I know that he cannot pay it. I am handling all the accounting issues. He will not do that. You know, time by time he said, no, we have to talk to him. So we arranged to meet him, and we told him the whole story. Bashar was clever, and he said, look guys, you know that I need you both, but I cannot pay you what you're talking about. And at the same time, I need you. So this is the deal. Go and think. It's 3 days until Saturday. Whether I pay you double salary and I have to bring the money, you know, or I reduce your salary into 50%. And the other 50%, and I should pay you double salary. I will give you shares after 2 years in the company. Well, we were thinking, this is the deal. And I was thinking that, do I really need money? Of course, by that time, I was in Europe, and we know we need more money, just, you know, because we need bigger house, we need second car, we need, you know, we're raising our, I have my son by that time. But I was thinking of when I bring my son to the company and he's with me, this means money to me. When I come sometimes late to work, I come like 9 o'clock, not 8:30, because my son is sick or he has fever. This really means money to me. When I finish work, when I go for breastfeeding my son and I come back, if I feel like he's crying, he wants me, I bring him to my office. This really means money. So I choose the other option. And he chose the big salary. It ended up, of course, you know, by that time this is new in our community. So he and other people keeps telling me that he ضحك عليك. He will not give you the shares. I don't care. I was really happy, although my salary is, you know, it's just covering, you know, just the expense of the lady that she used to come clean my house and take care of my son. my husband can, we're fine, we can eat, we can do, it's just the regular life that everybody living. But my money is just to make me happy in my work. I need support system. I give ladies that I give her half of the money I'll take, because it's already it's almost nothing. And this is what happened 2 years after. I got shares at Massar. 3-4 years, of course, there is no profits. But after that, one of the studies that Massar did is for the stock exchange. The findings was that there is a need in Palestine for a brokerage company. So we decided to open a brokerage company, which is Saham today. My husband, he likes buy and sell in the stock market, so he decided to be partner at Saham. And for me, I said, look, I don't need to take any profit from Massar. My profit from Massar, I want to put it at Saham. I take some shares. And this is what happened. And then I become a partner at Saham. And then after that, Ashal, then Zoom, and it goes like this. I never took cash money. I always invested. And it ended up that I'm a partner in several companies. And then we decided that you cannot just make it like, companies by itself. We need to make a holding company that owns all those companies. And it ended up that today I am a partner at Massar International that have 32 subsidiaries. We have business inside Palestine and outside Palestine. And here we are today.
Let us move forward to Rawabi. You play a key role in Rawabi, and it's the first planned Palestinian city which is planning to house 40,000 people. Could you tell us where is Rawabi at in its development? How many apartments have been sold to date? When are people moving in? What are the big issues the city's facing? Is there water? Is there electricity? Are there lawsuits? Tell us the juicy details that we don't know about Rawabi.
The idea of Rawabi, it's a crazy idea, and everybody knows that. But it comes from in 2004 when we decided after the second Intifada, when all the income of all the companies in every sector becomes zero. So people start just spending from their savings. We decided just we need to invest outside the country so as just to make money and bring it back to the companies here. And we went to Morocco, and we have a company, and we started a project with a Moroccan partner. And we established a company there called Baiti. We built a low-income housing there. It was a great project that it generates money just to bring it back here in Palestine. But that time, we lived under the curfew, if you remember, like 40 days under curfew, there is no business. So we decided that, we asked our employees, would you like to go to Morocco and work there? And they liked the idea. They went there, some of them they went to their families. They get the know-how. 3-4 years after, when the situation become better, they come back here. In 2007, the World Bank, they do a study for real estate, and the findings of the study was that there is a big demand for housing in Palestine. There is a need for 200,000 units. So we got the idea of why not doing that? We have the know-how, and our people come back here. So let's do like a project. We were thinking of doing like a neighborhood or something like this. And then, since there is a need for 200,000 units, we decided just to build 5,000, which is, Palestine still need for 5 more new cities. The demand is really high. So it was, the idea was from neighborhood, and then it goes into a city. It was really a crazy idea. it's Bashar's idea just to make it like a whole city with all the facilities. And in 2000, and since 2007 until 2010, we start just collecting lands because it's not easy just to find, you know, a big piece of land. Rawabi area is the...
Where you are planning to take the water? From where are you planning to take the water?
The Palestinian Water Authority, working with the Israeli Water Authority, because wherever you have a big community, they have to give you water.
Yeah, because you mentioned they need to give you a share or something, but it's the Palestinian Water Authority is giving the water, right?
Yeah, of course. All of this is through the Palestinian Authority. Yeah. For water, you're working with the Palestinian Water Authority. It's not allowed for private sector to talk to the Israelis or no. It's always through the government.
As the deputy of the Rawabi Foundation, what sectors does your foundation focus on, and what projects are near and dear to your heart? Briefly.
Actually, Rawabi Foundation, we established Rawabi Foundation early on to do the work that the municipality doing, because it's in the Palestinian law, it's forbidden to establish a municipality without having 4,000 people. Wherever you have 4,000 people, then there will be an election and you elect a municipality. So because of this, we decided just to establish a Rawabi Foundation to start just, you know, talking to donors, start doing the municipality work. But after that, the Prime Minister, Salam Fayyad, and of course, after we talked, you know, to him that there is a need for a municipality from day one. Why you want to wait until people live and then elect a municipality? Imagine if you're living in Rawabi and you're number 12, okay? Who's gonna take your trash? Are you going to wait until there become like 4,000 people and then you will elect a municipality? Especially that Rawabi is a city. It's not like a neighborhood in Ramallah. So it's not Ramallah municipality or Zraiq municipality. It's a total different area. So this is why the government decided just to assign a municipal council, and we're 11 members, 4 or 5 from the private sector, and the rest are from the public sector. We have representatives from each ministry. So Rawabi Foundation back then, now it's working on to make Rawabi green, working on projects, we're working with donors, projects for solar energy. You know, we have all those talks, but on, and of course the main issue is generating jobs inside Rawabi.
Okay, great. As the founder and first chairwoman of the Palestinian Business Women Forum, you clearly see the need and importance of empowering women in Palestine. Could you tell us briefly about how you've empowered women via the platform, the Business Women's Forum?
Actually, the issue of the Business Women Forum, it comes in 2004. We were, I received an invitation from the US Consulate to attend a conference in Tunisia. It's a Business Women Summit. This is the name of the conference. We went there, we were like 6 Palestinian businesswomen that we know each other. I know her name, I know what she's doing, but we've never been like friends or we know each other very well. We went there and we were shocked to find out that it's a conference of 200 businesswomen, and they are from 17 Arab countries. Each country, they have a representative, except Palestine and Lebanon. We were like, each one is alone. And the press was there, you know, it's all over, and they want to talk to us as a Palestinian. So we decided just to meet like every night. We meet in the hotel just to you know, to agree on what we want to tell them, what we want to tell to the press, what shall we do. So when we came back, we decided we were jealous. You know, they really have an association represents them. Why don't we have here? We went to the Businessmen Association and we told them that this is the woman, we want to establish one. Why to go and establish a new one for women? We're not in a gender issue, you know. We all have a male, it's not the male and female. And we all have a male partners. So it doesn't work out with the Businessmen Association that's to join them because they refused by that time to change the name. This is the point. They want to keep it like Businessmen Associations, but they want us to be members. And you know, by that time it was the women issue is really fashion. So there is always funds for
so they refused to change the name?
So we said, you know what, okay, thank you. We're going to establish our own. And we established, of course, in 2006, it takes time because the government were boycotted by that time, if you remember. And finally, in 2006, it was established legally. And I was elected from the founders to be the chair person for that time. And I hosted the Businesswoman Forum in my company for the first 3 years. And I was the chair for the 2 terms. After that, we built a branding, we built the base for the Businesswoman Forum. And then they moved to their own offices. Today, Businesswoman Forum has a business development center, which is the technical arm that gives all the technical support for females, or even for businesswomen to improve their skills, for the ladies who have projects and they want to move to, or they have an ideas to move it to a project and then to a company. And we have lots of ladies just to move them from the informal sector to the formal sector. Today we have over 70 members. I'm talking about businesswomen who own and run their businesses. We have over 2,000 beneficiaries from the Business Development Center. The Businesswoman Forum is one of the founder of the MENA network. MENA network is an association for businesswomen associations in 10 Arab countries. We have a network for 25,000 businesswomen in the Arab countries.
Wonderful, thank you. A lot of members of our audience here today are entrepreneurs or thinking of starting a business or want to be involved in the entrepreneurial community. If you could offer a first-time entrepreneur only one piece of advice, what would it be?
Never give up. Being a Palestinian, you have to know, we're living in a risky place. It's not easy to do business here, but since you're a Palestinian, you're a fighter, a seeker, and a leader. Just keep moving.
How is Massar International involved in helping the startup community in Palestine? Like, I'm familiar with Babit, the ICT incubator, but I feel like it's keeping a very low level in the community. Are they active? Are they inactive? I know that they're active because Salah is here. So just a little more information in terms of your contribution to the community.
Well, as you know, the idea comes after we establish Rawabi. Rawabi, it opens up so many ideas. When we start Rawabi, we find out that the companies inside Palestine cannot, if they work with their 100% capacity, they cannot just, follow us on what we need at Rawabi. For example, let's talk about the pipes that we used in building Rawabi. If all the factories in Palestine work day and night with their 100% capacity, still we need more pipes. So here it comes the idea of establishing a fund. So we established the first fund called Siraj. And we established Siraj Fund management, that we do management for the fund. We collect the fund from Palestinian people, from Palestinian living abroad. It's a $90 million to be invested in the Palestinian companies. Accordingly, we invest in companies that they need to improve their capacity to work and to do this, to make the supply for Rawabi. For example, one of the companies is a factory that makes the doors, the wood issue, and because of Siraj, they buy more equipment, they hire more people, and they're moving the economic cycle, and of course so many companies. The same issue is for Rawabi, that it's a smart city. It's at Rawabi, it's they say it's fiber to home, so it will be like a hub for the ICT. And we do this because we need to attract, we need to do something attraction at Rawabi to bring people not only to live there, even companies to work there. Today we're building the amphitheater. It's the biggest amphitheater in the Middle East. It's bigger than Jarash amphitheater. The mosque there is the biggest mosque in Palestine. So this will attract people just to go. Even we need to attract people to come to Rawabi for even for the weekend or for the visit. So being a smart city, back to the ICT, we're going to establish an ICT hub at Rawabi, and there will be local and international companies. Now, accordingly, we decided just to establish the Badr incubator. Of course, it's an incubator for entrepreneurs that will provide funding up to $250,000, mentoring, coaching, and then all Badr will be moved to Rawan.
Okay. Are you?
So it's active. We will not do publicity. We need just to keep the publicity whenever we move there.
Okay. Are you, with all your experience and all your history, have you done any mentoring or support of any startups? Has anybody?
That she owned the resort at Sharm el-Sheikh, and it comes from Vital Voices. They do the matching through a program called a Global Ambassador. I was their ambassador, and they make the matching with this lady, because as we all know, the bad time that comes into Egypt, it's their first time that they're living under such situation, so they don't know what to do by do the match between me and her, and because we can survive, we already have an experience in surviving companies during the Intifada. It's almost the same situation. So this lady, she used to keep her resort. It's a 3-star resort, small resorts in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's called Regina. Anybody go there, can go there. Imagine that her many clients were Russian. And she keeps waiting for Russian even during the bad time. She keeps making the AC on in all the rooms while there is no occupants. But this is the way they used to do. She keeps thinking that they are coming, and she keeps losing and losing and losing. By working with her, I'm so proud that we reduced the cost. We closed half of the resort. We start doing outsourcing from the kitchen that she has, the chef there. We do outsourcing for the gardener she has. There's so many ideas that I give to her. I work with her, for a week, and then we have like a monthly call and a visit every 6 months. She's doing great now. And also there is one issue that I was chosen also by Vital Voices to talk to Libyan businesswomen. We've met in Dubai, just to tell them about how we established the businesswoman forum, how important it is. And it ended up, I'm so proud that it ended up that they established a Libyan businesswoman.
I'm just going to sum up with a couple of quick questions. What do you consider to be your greatest achievement and your biggest failure?
Well, achievement, everything, I call it as achievement, Let's talk about failure. It looks like, I'm living in a very nice atmosphere. It's always, it's rising, but no. We do have investments that it falls, one day we invest in Libya. And this was in 2004. When we decided just to invest outside the country, we invested in Morocco and then we went to Libya. In Libya also, we moved some of our staff there and with their families. We stayed there, let's say a year or less than a year. And then in Libya, it was a total loss. We left Libya while we left everything, even the furniture. We don't know what happened there now. We just take out all our employees, just leave. The point is that Saif al-Qaddafi, he keeps just sending messages and threaten our employees that they want 50% of the company just by 50%, and that was me. So we left and it was a total loss. It's like hundreds of dollars. The other failure also, it was in Dubai. We established a company in Dubai in the media city, and it was the Zoom Media. And it was nice when we started the company. We were only 3 partners. It's me, Bashar, and Murad Tahmoud. We used to go there like every 2 months. It's hard just to manage a company outside the country, unless you have to stay there. You cannot just do it remotely. It ended up that it starts very nicely, and we hired a general manager, and we have employees, we visited them, we have reporting, but it ended up it's a total loss. We closed it also, but still we use the name here when we established Zoom. Zoom Media in Dubai, the main work was the digital signage. It was fashion by that time, this is in 2007. And it ended up also a total loss. Well, there's lots of failures. It's not that you always, make money. During the Intifada, we spend all the money that we did before. We just, we spent again all our savings. I have time like 2 years with no salary even at all. At least we need just to salaries, make sure that we have enough money for the employees. The partners doesn't take any penny at all. So there is some really tough time. It was not easy, It's, well, at the same time, living, if you want just to live in Palestine, you have to accept all those ups and downs. We always said that we reach a bottom, but every time we reach a new bottom.
On that note, thank you so much. And now we'll open the floor to some questions. Please.
I have 3 questions. My first question is, what are you going to do with Rawabi when the political issues of the countries around the Rawabi? So how are you going to get people to come in and out, for example? And the second one, I heard that you guys are going to be the first fiber optic internet in Rawabi. How is that going with political issues in Palestine? And the third, what was one of the main reasons that Zoom Media failed and why?
Zoom Media, because we don't have local partners. After that, we learn. Never ever invest outside the country without having a local partner from that country.
Yeah, that's why, because in Dubai, usually in Media City, you can't open, it's only free zones. So, but you still need to give 20% to a local partner.
So maybe this is after we were there. No, it was not an issue at that time. Or one of the partners, one of the owners, have to stay there. And it was hard for me or any of my partners just to live here and stay there. So this is why we failed. The fiber optic, it doesn't have anything with the politics. It's allowed. Yeah. What's the first one?
And there's political issues, like for example, the countries around it, I read that they're very politically unstable. So, what are your
which one? I gotta check one. Okay.
Not
If they close it, then that's it.
Yeah. Actually, Atara checkpoint is not exist as a permanent checkpoint. It's there. Whatever there was today, when I go, there's a checkpoint. When I come back, there's no checkpoint. But it's exactly the same. When you go to Nablus, there's checkpoint.
Yeah.
There's no checkpoint. So you cannot just stop working.
It's not
You
like
know,
there anything you do to prevent political issues?
No,
Make
well,
it safer?
Actually, it's safe.
Just branches for the companies here, other branches for the companies to be published there.
Well, as I told you that Massar have 32 subsidiaries. Those are the first companies that are going to move to Rawabi. I will live in Rawabi. I'm the first one ever. My house finished there. I'm moving there. So at least what?
Good encouragement.
Yeah, at least if I move my company there, then all the employees will be living there. Then they will decide just to move, or their wives, they want to work there so as not to go back to Ramallah. So this will encourage people. Just you need. We don't need Rawabi to be a bedroom community that people will go sleep there and then come back to Ramallah or to Nablus for their work. This is why we're establishing the town center. The town center there, it's really attractive for people. There will be like companies, retailers. We're talking for retailers that it's not existing in Palestine, and hopefully we're going to close with them. So as to attract people to go shopping from Rawabi. For the ICT, our companies, and we talk to other companies, we talk to the banks, they will open there, and we talk to international companies also. And we're working on that, and there's some kind of need to attract them to go and open our offices there. If you need, and I don't have now the details, but we have people that they are really good at. If you need, if you are really interesting, please just let me know and we will do the connection.
Just one more comment to this question, please. Are you following a certain example within Palestine or outside? You're doing a business area, especially for ICT, outside the major, you say business city. Do you have an example that you are following, or it's your initiative?
No, actually, it's our initiative, but we're talking to internationals, and they know.
Which means you are taking a lot of risk. I mean,
So living here is risky. Yeah, of course. Whatever you do in Palestine, you're risking. You're risking your money. You're risking your family. You're risking. We're living in a risky place. But you know, it's in our blood. Why not? You have to risk. I know for me, I do take
I'm
risk in my life.
not against risk, sorry, but as you know, ICT is a business with a lot of clients. That is the main idea that why I'm asking about. If you have an example that you are following, it's the main thing that I think it's a barrier that how can you grow or drag your clients to follow the business from Ramallah, for example, Nablus to Rawabi. I'm trying to understand what you are exactly promoting.
Yeah, actually, it looks like you're asking more details about the ICT hub. That I don't have really exact details about it, just to tell you. But we can provide, as we have people that they are really specialized in the IT sector, and they are following up on this. So I'll give you my card, and we'll make the connections.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for coming. Thanks for being open to us. I want to congratulate Rawabi, because by the time I got out of Prisma checkpoint coming from Jerusalem, I see the Rawabi sign, and this is an achievement. Really, I feel happy to have Rawabi there.
The sign is in area C. This is a big fight. Yeah.
I know. Well, I don't want to do that, but Rawabi can't mean that much. I have two questions. The first one, I wanted to know how many or the number of women representing the municipal council in Rawabi. This is one question. The second one, just want you to make it clear for me, if I understand good, that you help or you support the outsourcing, like the Sharm Sheikh case.
I think it's a mentoring.
I know, but you as a holding group, do you support outsourcing, like working with other companies to do the business with you, or do you do the business yourself? For example, logistics, procurement, all these services that is required for Rawabi to be built. Do you do it yourself do it, or are you able to work with other companies?
No, definitely outsourcing. No, definitely outsourcing. You cannot do all. It's a big project. You cannot do it by yourself. You know, we have contractors. We have you need to outsource. You cannot do it.
Yeah. So I understand. Well, now the number of women at the municipal council, the number.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 11, and it's the highest female percentage in all municipal councils in Pakistan.
Yeah, so you're above the
In Nabis, they have, it's only in Nabis, they have 3 out of 11, and we 4.
Okay, so
And the main, also the main engineer, the main municipal engineer is a female also. Yes.
Thank you.
So a lot of the questions have been about Rawabi. I'm going to change it a little bit here to mix it up. I'm going to ask about Siraj. So you mentioned that you guys raised $90 million for investments. Just wondering, 3-part question. First, what percentage of that capital has already been deployed? How many companies have been invested in? And how many of those companies that you guys invested are actually in ICT?
In ICT, I guess 2. What's 3? And call you and yeah, this is a new one. What's your other question?
The first question was, what percentage of the capital has already been deployed?
Well, actually, it's a 90 million. We have a cause of 60%.
6%? And how many companies in total?
I'm not sure exact number, but almost maybe 12 or 13, something like this. Yeah.
Including those 3 that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem.
No, please go ahead.
Are you thinking of making Massar public?
Actually, this was our vision. Yeah, we would love to see Massar listed not only in the Palestinian stock market, but on the Nasdaq or in London, or why not? You just keep dreaming. Why not? Yeah. But you cannot just do that. Actually, this is why we established the Massar International to make it like a holding company. And then it's not easy just to list a company. You know, I'm a board member on some of the public shareholder company. It's really not easy. Things should be 100% proper. Then you have to list it. Yeah, why not? But there's some of the criteria that we need to follow.
Go ahead.
Any plans in investing in information security? We have great minds in information security in this country, but we need to collect them in one place, in one company. Information security is a new technology in our area. It includes new technology also inside the information security. So, any plans in investing in information security?
Well, actually, you will not believe. We don't have a plan to do and then we follow. It's like seizing opportunities. All the companies that we do, it's like seizing opportunities. Whatever the country is, whatever we need, we'll just get the opportunity and do it. For security, now we're working for Rawabi. Rawabi will be the, what they call it, CCTV.
Okay, this is physical security. This is just a little point in information security.
Yeah, okay, but we started with this.
Okay,
we
no
don't have
problem.
in mind just to do something bigger, but maybe if it comes, maybe next month you will, you'll find us just investing in this. We seizing opportunity. If opportunity comes, then we grab it.
So you should present the opportunity.
Yes.
Great.
Exactly. Please.
You mentioned earlier that you had an unsuccessful business in Libya. Did you have any recovery plans for the employees that were removed from their homelands and then had to go to Libya to work there?
Any recovery plan? No, we bring them back here. They are still until today. They are our employees. They're working.
Yeah, they're still with you.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how is it legal to add more cities to the country. You know, was it possible for you to add more city to a country? Like, is it recognized by the government?
Actually, it's not illegal. The government
How was it easy or difficult?
Of course, it's not easy now. It's not easy. You will not believe the difficulties. First, buying the lands, you will not believe how many countries Palestinians they move to. We buy from over 1,000 people that they are abroad. They went to Australia, to Brazil, to so many countries that they live. It was not easy hiring. Also, it's not easy. Although it's all in Area A, so we need approvals from our government. Okay, but the master plan, we got the approval on the master plan just maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But because they never ever see a master plan for a city, the whole ministry, they never ever see it in their life. This is why they keep, and we keep just hiring people, consultants from outside the country. We don't know how to do it. Even the master plan, nobody in town can do it for a city, a whole city. So it was a consortium of different companies, and it's led by a company called AECOM. It's one of the biggest companies in the world. It's located in New York, and we asked them that they have to work with Birzeit University and the Najaf University, because you cannot just bring people from New York, tell them that we're going to build a Palestinian city. They will do it like in New York. We have something that it should be localized. So this is why the engineering department at Birzeit University and the Najaf, they were all together with them in doing the master plan.
Please. I have a question. You mentioned earlier that you are almost ready to move in. Before you said you just have one challenge left, which is the water challenge. And you just mentioned that you just got your master plan approval almost 6 months ago. So I wasn't really sure, how can you even start working on the whole project if you don't have approval for the master plan?
If you want to wait until you get all the approvals, until today we have to dig tomorrow. Well, you put it on reality. Well, we have the verbal approval, okay? And you got some papers for approvals. But to have it until the last minute, because the master plans, it talks about the details, that the width of the road is 12 meters, and you know it's detailed. It's really and working with the government here. Oh, they need like 20 years to approve it. Yeah. Imagine that people who are working on it, they come and visit Rawali after 3 years, which is just 17 minutes. So we put it on the, I have to tell you, Rawabi, and believe me, now you're listening to me, but you will remember in 2-3 years ahead. Rawabi is a new reality for our people. It's a new future for our kids. It's a new model of development. When you see Rawabi, this means that we Palestinians really, yes, we can. We can. If we build such a project, you know, it costs like $1 billion. And people, they think that it's all the money as if it's from the Qatari. Okay, Qatari Diyar are partner, but you know, the main money comes from loan. We took loan from a Qatari bank and we pay 7%. And today, when of course you heard about Rawabi, that is going to close and there is no money because we are off employees. Yes, this is but not in this way. But I'll tell you why. Before we established Rawabi, we signed an agreement with the government in the Bethlehem conference, if you remember, in 2008. And the agreement says that all the infrastructure and the outside green area, it should be done by the government. So accordingly, we make the business plan. And you all know that you do business plan. Accordingly, Qatari Diyar, they invest with us. The project, it costs $1 billion. Nobody have such money that we put it. So we took a loan from Qatari bank, and we pay 7%. It ended up that the government do not do anything. You cannot just build and wait for the government until they make the infrastructure. How come? So we dig and we do the infrastructure and we pay for the infrastructure. Okay? The infrastructure, it cost us $90 million that it should be built by the government. Something else is the VAT back. As you know, VAT is our money. So usually the government should return it back to the companies. We need from the government 110 million shekel, which is almost $60 million. Okay? Until today, they do not return it back. What about your business plan? What happened to our business plan? Also, we were, the water supposed to come like 6 months ago. So people should move to their house 3 months ago. Because whenever we got the approval, we need 4 months to make the main pipe in APSC. It takes like 3 months. So in our business plan, when people move, you have to pay your last installment. We until today, we sold 630 apartments. Each one, let's say the average is $100,000, the last installment. This means like another $60 million. So 60 million, 60 million and 90 million, and how come? From where we're gonna bring money? It ended up that, okay, the money is done. The bank in Qatar that we took the loan, we used it all. What shall we do? So we decided just to minimize our cost. There is no need until today. We're building neighborhood number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the town center. Of course, the amphitheater. Now, we're in plan just to start building a village and neighborhood number 6 and 5 and 6. We decided just to stop working on 5 and 6 and the villas until we got our money, whether from the BRT, from people moving. You don't have enough money just to keep going. So if we decided just to stop it, this means that all the engineers that they are working on neighborhood number 5 and 6, all the contractors, they have to leave. And this is what happened. You know, we also at Rawabi there will be a logistic area, and because we don't have logistic area here in Pakistan, so also the engineers, the employees that working on the logistic area, so they need a job. And this is also to reduce our cost. Hopefully things will be much better, then they will come back.
Perfect. If anybody has any other questions, you can ask afterwards. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Manal. And we have a little token to thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can tell them. Come. And that's a little board.
Okay, I don't know if any of you noticed, but in the back we kind of have like a little board. This is a new thing that we're going to be starting. So each time we'll kind of put a different question, and you guys can write your answers, and we can discuss them afterward. You can discuss them during the networking and food. And then something else that we started, but they're not ready yet, is we printed off these little cards, kind of like rewards cards. So every 3 times you come, you get 1 time free. So we'll start those from next time. But if you came today, they're not ready. But if you came today, we'll give you a stamp. We'll give you a stamp. So that's it, and I'll collect your evaluation forms, and please help yourselves to some more food.